cloud. And we are officially recording. Hello, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to the Black Girl Business Hour. I am your host, Elle Will, also known as Lena Wilson, owner of Rebellious Beauty LLC, a organic convenience skincare company based right here in Cleveland, Ohio. We are here today. Oh, before we get started, let me tell you that this episode of the Black Girl Business Hour is sponsored by guess who? Rebellious Beauty, because until you guys get in here and sponsor it, it will be sponsored by me. So if you are interested in sponsoring an episode of the Black Girl Business Hour, please jump in my DM, stalk me, and come on in and offer to be a sponsor for one of our shows. Today, first of all, let me say welcome back. We have been on hiatus for a little while because we had to rearrange some guests. We had to rearrange my life. Y'all know I was in New York and trying to get home, and it was 9/11. It was a whole bunch of drama, okay? But Mother made it home. Mother is home for the rest of the year. And now we have time to focus on business. So today, I'd like to welcome my guest for this episode of the Black Girl Business Hour. She is a skilled graphic designer, digital media marketer, which, hello, I think we all need, an operations manager, boasted by an educational background in digital media and business communications, Miss Crystal Ann Hall. Please put some hand claps in the chat for Miss Crystal Ann. I'm gonna say Ann every time. Crystal Ann Hall, y'all. So virtually clap, give her some claps, clap. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about Miss Crystal. She has worked closely with her Spanish-speaking community in various capacities of community volunteering, tutoring, and public relations. Come on, sis. Crystal has over 15 years of work experience in digital marketing, planning, managing projects and events, staying within budget limits, and meeting deadlines. And don't we all need that? Because just like me, can't never be nowhere on time. I need somebody to manage my life. Okay. So welcome, Miss Crystal. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I am wonderful, and thank you for asking. Before we get started, can somebody put the disclaimer in the chat before we even go there? Before I say anything else, please put the disclaimer in the chat. Miss Crystal, thank you for being on this episode of the Black Girl Business Hour. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with us.
Thank you.
So tell us about your biz.
So High Crown Marketing is started as a type of freelance. Okay. It was a freelance idea. High Crown I took because my religious or faith background. So I absolutely needed to put God in something that I was doing. So that's why I came with High Crown.
Amen.
I started doing graphic designing like in the early 2000s.
Okay. You've been doing this for a while then, huh?
Yes, I was in high school. So I went to a digital media based high school that was like really focusing on getting the kids into STEM. So technology, art, digital media, they were kind of, that was like the booming career phase at the time. So, they were just like, hey, everybody get a laptop, everybody get on the computer. So then that's where I kind of really gauged my interest. I started doing like church flyers. I started doing car wash flyers. I was like 15, 16. I need like whatever can get me a bag of chips.
Right.
Walking to school. I was making money here or there. I really started getting my passion when I taught myself how to code, and I was charging people like $20 for their MySpace pages. So I had.
She did take it back to the MySpace page. Let me tell you, I was the MySpace queen. Okay.
I mean, I had people that were asking, like leopard print and wanted music on the background. I was like, $20, I could do your MySpace page. So I was doing that throughout high school. And then my second year of college, I went to Cleveland State. So I'm a Cleveland native, Cleveland Public Schools, Cleveland State University. I took a major interest in public relations. So I noticed that you're hitting our community, a lot of nonprofits, a lot of community resources. The information wasn't getting directly to my community, which was mostly Spanish-speaking people. Okay. So I took the initiative of just, going to different nonprofit organizations and saying, hey, if you just have to pay me $25, I will take all your marketing collateral. I will translate it into Spanish. I'll do everything in the files that you need. So all you'll have to do is just send it to whoever your printing company is. So that's really where I started. I really developed like my customer service skills working with different entities in the community, where I started learning and pretty much teaching myself the programs. There was one post that was made in our group, and I'm like, I am a YouTube University graduate.
Yes, that's the one I posted earlier. Like, are people taking training? Like, just because you have a business, do you think you're above continuing to learn? So I'm with you. I definitely got a master's in YouTube University, especially during the pandemic. Okay.
Yes, and I am a major advocate for, things are constantly evolving and changing. So you always want to be 10 steps ahead, especially understanding and knowing who your audience is. So then that's where I always picked it up on, like our parents want us to be doctors or lawyers. But I just was like, no, I really think, I love the community. I love doing the graphic design. I had to find a way where I can make those two come together and work for me. And that's what I did. I have been contracted and I've done digital and graphic designing for Walmart, Hulu ads. I recently just finished my contract with Amazon. And then I did some stuff on the public sector for Crane's Cleveland Business Magazine. So, the need was there. And I think that I take advantage of knowing what my roots are in the community. Especially with like a background that I have with public relations, working in juvenile court, working with community-based resources, working with nonprofit organizations. I take all that knowledge and see how it can apply and make sense for my clients that come to me looking for branding, websites, logos, general marketing collateral. The need is always there.
And y'all heard that. So now there's no excuse. There's a sister in the group. She done told you everything she knows how to do. Half of y'all need all of it. Pretty sure I've been yelling about this forever. So these websites that need to be updated, these marketing things that need to be updated or even started, okay? There you go, okay? Reach out to this sister. And being bilingual, I think it's very important, especially as a person that has, like myself, that has worked with the public. People don't understand how valuable it is to be bilingual, especially with us having such a diverse community from East Side to West Side. Having that under your belt is like 10. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like one of the best things to have. So if you still got time, learn another language. Me, I don't know nothing but, smart ass and sarcasm. So, that's all I got. So that is awesome that you have all of that background. And like you said, and we, briefly tapped on this before the interview started about knowing your customer base. And I think that is so important. And I think people jump into this with absolutely no clue who they're going to target their business, their product or whatever to. They just like, I'm gonna do it. And it's like, well, who you marketing it to? Because if it's the kids, you're not gonna have strippers in your commercial. You know what I'm saying? And if it's the grown people, I don't want to see the cocoa melon folks all up in your commercial. So you have to know who your target audience is. So, Miss Crystal, in you, and especially because you started your career so young, what is one thing that you wish you had known before you began that career, or now that you're kind of in that career? What is something that you wish you had known?
I wish that in the beginning, somebody would have told me that I don't need to have every client. Every person is
not my hat for the collection plate. Child, yes, girl.
Every person is not a customer or a client. And I definitely learned the hard way. I will be fully transparent, but it's knowing that even if somebody comes to you and they say, so-and-so referred me, I love what you did for them, I want to do the same. I had finally implemented kind of like a vetting process.
Like consultation almost?
Yes, almost like a consultation, but even before I'm giving you my time, I asked the customers or the client to fill out a very brief questionnaire. What it is you're looking for, who your target audience is, where are you looking to go? I'm the type of person where I like to cultivate relationships. So if you come to me and say, hey, I need a logo, I need a website, I want to know what you're going to do after you leave me. Right. And that's kind of how you know if somebody's prepared really prepared for their business. Because that, you know, they'll ask for their logo, they'll ask for branding, they'll ask for marketing tools. But then you say, okay, you got a logo, you got a website, what are you going to do next? And usually when they,
You're like,
when,
I don't know.
exactly, exactly. It's like when they're not prepared to answer that question, that I know that I may not be the designer for you.
And it's good that you know that and will say that, but see, because that says so much more about you than just, I'm here for the money. No, I want you to really be successful. And I think businesses who learn to turn down business are successful businesses, you know? It's, you know, when we, and I talk about this all the time with the pop-up game. I don't like the word pop-up because it doesn't show consistency. It just means, I don't care how many of y'all in here selling skincare, I want your money, sit y'all butts in here, y'all go sell that and have a great day. The person that can say, you know what, I got too many of this, I'm going to, you know, stop it here. I'm not going to be able to accept you for A, B, C, and D. That's a good business person. So for you to vet them and have a consultation, because I don't want to just help or create a logo for your brand. I want to create a logo for your brand. I want to know why you started it, how you started it, and how you're behind it 100%, not just always happening. Yeah, girl, I put some hearts over some flowers and now it's a damn logo. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that from you as a business owner, that you know that every dollar and every person and every customer is not yours. That's absolutely great.
Yes. And so I learned the hard way.
Don't we all? But don't we all? Don't we all? It's always one person you want to slap the hell out of, okay? Like, whoo, I shouldn't even took them. So what are some challenges you faced when you first started, especially, again, being so young?
Man, when I first started like really marketing myself and putting myself out there, I was going to nail salons. I was like walking on Buckeye, because at the time, remember, it was like Buckeye was a strip of hair salons and nail salons.
Clutch pearls on Buckeye now.
Oh, just before it got crazy. I was actually working.
Has there ever been a time before Buckeye got crazy for real?
Well, when back in 2008, I was working at the Rebel Wireless on Buckeye Plaza. So that's when like the giant eagle was popping in there, rainbow
in the plaza. Yeah, I used to go to the shoe store over there all the time. I remember.
Yes. So I was just going out there and I was like, hey, you know what? You don't have flyers. Your customers come to they come to pay their Revel bill. I love their nails. I want to help you market and get bigger clientele. And you had some people that were like, oh yeah, great. You had some people that were like, no, leave my establishment. So you had to take those, hit or miss.
And not take it so personally when you do get a no.
Yes. And then so as I progressed and my skills started developing, what I did was I would go to the Secretary of State website, the Ohio Secretary of State, and I would type in nail salon or hair boutique. And I would find active businesses that were, registered in the state of Ohio. And then I would just play with the logo, or I would, play with, back when Horizon was, Horizon is still popular, but back when like everybody needed to have a Horizon magazine, I would play with those things. And then I would return back to that hair salon, back to that nail salon and say, hey, this is what I did with your brand. This is what I envision your brand to be. Because a lot of them were Microsoft Word.
That is marketing. Take freaking notes. That is marketing. That is putting yourself out there. That is out of the damn box. Girl, go ahead. I'm sorry. That right there, you are one. I think I love Crystal, y'all. I think I love her. Okay. You didn't say everything right to me. Okay. We go together like at this point. Okay. I am in love. Okay. Go for it, girl. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's how I was getting started getting most of my business.
Now, how old were you when you were doing that?
19. Yeah. Yep. I was still at CSU working at Rep. And I, now I would say some of the difficulty is just being, people think it's crazy, but being a female, and being an Afro-Latina female in graphic design, a lot of people just immediately think that it's tech you know, and then they're like, you sure you can do graphic design? So that's kind of some of the obstacles that I face now. So I do a lot of my proposals kind of just immediately just high crown. And then I allow them to do the homework. So the more Google searches and hits I get when they do high crown, and then they see my face after they view my portfolio.
Exactly.
I've learned to do that. So not necessarily selling myself, you know, not going out there and saying, hey, I'm Crystal, but by the way, I can do branding. It's I do branding. This is my portfolio. This is what I've accomplished. If you'd like to schedule a Zoom with me, this is how you can contact me. And I think that I get more pleasure into seeing their faces once the video starts going. And then, you know, showing that professionalism of where, okay, you've seen my experience. Let's discuss what direction we can take your brand.
That's awesome. Everybody, please, we are going to do a Q&A at the end of this. If you have any questions for Crystal at the end of this is when we will do that. Please get your questions ready. Miss Crystal, what are some of the biggest highlights of your career since you've been started?
Oh man, the biggest highlights are the major contracts that I was able to secure. They're not impossible. So if there are other graphic designers that are listening or that are going to listen, it is not impossible. What is very ironic is that you'll see proposals that are asking for graphic designers, and they'll say, hey, this is the concept. You know, let's say it's a JCPenney catalog, but you don't know it's a JCPenney catalog. You can apply for these, and then they'll say, hey, this is the concept. Send us 3 examples, or they'll even come find you. Actually, when I was able to secure Walmart a year and a half ago, they came to me in my DMs, and they didn't identify themselves as Walmart. They just said, hey, we're trying to do a 1-page ad. Is this something you're interested in doing? Can we schedule a Zoom? So I was like, yeah, of course, you know, a 1-page ad. I'm thinking maybe it's somebody doing a local paper. I put something together. They said, hey, you know, it's great. We'd like to schedule a Zoom, 2 or 3 more people. Next thing I know, I'm talking with a board in Wisconsin, and it's Walmart getting ready for their 2021 catalog. So it's not impossible. So being able, I've done branding for Walmart, for Hulu ads, which is on Hulu TV. So if you have a Hulu ad subscription, most likely you've seen some of the designing that I've done. And I've done designing.
My account with Hulu for my marketing and things like that. They just invited me to market my product on Hulu.
And jump on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, when I got the invite, I thought it was like a scam. I'm like clicking, like, wait a minute.
And so many people do. And what's funny is that they'll solicit you, and then once you provide your, you know, what you do, then they'll send it to someone like me.
That's awesome. Hey, I feel like you need a master class. Like you need to be teaching child to teach these people like how to do this. That is awesome. That is amazing for you. That's beyond a highlight. Like, girl, we about to see you all up in, look, support. If you need a model for Sephora, call girl. Okay, if you need, just a model for the marketing, you know, the mother edition, girl, I'm here for you. Okay, that is amazing. That's beyond a highlight. Like, you know, to say you had those types of contracts, Walmart, Hulu, that's major. So congratulations to you on securing that. That's amazing. So of course, where there is highlights, there's failures. So what has been one of what you would consider a biggest failure, and how did you learn from it? Like, what did you get from it?
So a biggest failure I had goes back to not every client or every customer that comes to solicit your services is a great client or customer. You know, at the time I was like, oh my God, I'm hot, I'm doing so well, I'm accepting everybody. You want a logo? I got you. You want a website? Come on, make a deposit, we're all set. And I was unfortunate to get somebody that was just not the best client. I was going above and beyond. I mean, I was exceeding what the agreement was in hours, website pages, branding. And then, you know, I was pursuing this person like, hey, you know what, you need to make your deposit. But in addition to that, I had to tweak the invoice a little bit because this is what we were doing.
Right.
And this person changed the password to the website. They changed their phone number.
Oh, wow.
then they went and they contacted the BBB and like left me the worst review. And it was just like, it wasn't really damaging to my brand, because I was able to, the Better Business Bureau that has an arbitrator and allows you to say, hey, these are the communications, this was what was going on. Right. So that wasn't the difficult part, but it was definitely my spirit, because when you
does. And there are people out here, who intentionally rate you bad and go onto Google and BBB and give you horrible reviews. And I'm glad that some of these places that do ratings allow you to answer back and say, no, I did this, and this for you. So whatever you complaining about, I don't know, so, and it does, it wavers your spirit, but I'm glad, you were able to mentally stay strong and be like, you know what, it is what it is, and back for them.
Yeah. And so I learned from that, but it especially like, like someone that you started from like the very beginning, like you started from just the name. So yeah, it definitely affected my spirit. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh yeah. And it was, it came to that time and it was like, oh, very difficult.
And it will. I was in DC. And I don't know, I've normally, like I told you, prior to the show, I do a lot of vending out of state. I've been to DC 100 times, literally 100 times. And this year, DC people was a little snappy. Like, oh, like, and I've been doing this for a long time, but I kind of step back like, well, damn, is it me? Like, it ain't like I'm new here. I'm pretty sure some of y'all know me. Like, how we get here? And it did kind of take me out a bit, like, I need to recalibrate next year. Like, I don't want to come back here, or I don't want to, what I'm saying? Like, one bad experience can take you completely out. And like you said, no physical effect on your business, just you personally, like, your spirit can be a little bit tapped. Like, oh, wow. Now, don't get me wrong. I went to Detroit after that, and they brought my spirit right on back. But while I was in DC, girl, I was getting tapped on. So the fact that you can, in this, you can't take it personally. Right. There are people here that will do stuff intentionally. This girl could have been jumping through hoops. She could have made pancakes in the morning. Like she said, she was going over, above, and beyond, and they still went out of their way to give her a bad review. So you can't take stuff personally when people say something negative about you, and with your heart that you've done nothing negative. You've done everything you can. So you can't take stuff personally. And I think so many people get discouraged. And even when I used to see people in bad shows, I used to be like, God, I hope they don't get discouraged and not do another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but you and I, as entrepreneurs, know that, someone new that's on the scene, anybody in this chat, don't let one bad experience take you out. Because first of all, it won't be your last. You just got to get over it. So what advice would you have for some young buck who is trying to get into the marketing game, into what you're doing?
So I would say two things. One, you've never think that you started something new.
Girl.
There's one girl that reached out to me on Facebook, and she's like, hey, I'm doing graphic design. I think my style is different because I do XYZ. And I'm like, well, I hope that's not how you're trying to sell yourself.
Right.
Because I can guarantee that if you meet a veteran graphic designer, they're going to say, well, that's 101. We learned that years ago.
In 97, like, right.
Right. I'm like, so you need to pitch yourself as far as the knowledge and the skill set that you're bringing to the client, in addition to being able to do XYZ. So the first piece of advice is, please don't ever think that you are creating something new, or that you're like this brand new spanking new toy that everybody needs to jump on. Bring your skill set, bring your knowledge when it comes to branding yourself. And then the second thing that I would tell people is slow and steady. I don't have 10,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram, but I can guarantee you that my portfolio would read otherwise.
I was just about to say, she just said, I don't have a bunch of followers, but you just heard her say, I got contracts with Hulu, Walmart, yada, 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 and so on and so forth. likes do not equate success. Okay. We have got to get out of that. And me and you discussed that prior to the show, that social media has created this delusion of what business is, what life is, and it's not the case. So likes do not equal success. Okay. Likes just equal likes. That's it. They ain't even paying you for likes on reels. They just paying you for views. They don't even care if you like it. Just look at it. So likes do not equate success. And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that came from someone else. I scream it, I don't know how many times. People are not what they post, P-O-S-T, to be. Okay. They post what you want to see, but that's not what they actually are. Like, I went to a master class. The guy was like, people posing by these cars, 9 times out of 10 ain't their car. Everybody posting, like, hey, look at my little area. Y'all see this area? Honey, if I was to swing this camera around, you'd be like, oh, dear God. Okay. So don't be bamboozled by what you see on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all these things. And I love that. I hate to take it off subject, but I love that Instagram is now doing the Instagram versus reality thing, because that's what it is. No, it is not a chance in hell that you got to enjoy this beautiful piece of land all by your damn self. Where the other 8 billion people on Earth at? They there too. You know what I'm saying? I love that Instagram is doing that. And I'm glad you said that you have to market your actual self and not your Instagram self. Right. So that's very important. I hope y'all taking notes, because she's dropping all types of jewels and gems and good grilled cheese sandwiches up in here. I hate saying gems because everybody say that. We're going to say we drop a good grilled cheese up in here, okay? Because there is nothing like a good grilled cheese, okay? So I hope you all are taking notes. I hope you all are getting your questions ready. So when we do the Q&A, you all have hundreds of questions for her, as you should, okay? I'm not going to say that again. So who is Crystal's ideal customer? Who's your customer?
Man, so I love everybody, but my ideal customer is someone who understands the difference between a logo and a brand. And they actually have, I don't want to say a business plan because that's too technical, but they actually have a vision for where they want to go. I can do logos all day. But it's actually establishing a brand, having a strategy, and being comfortable to know that you can market yourself. Getting somebody like me is an investment when you have a business.
Put them dollar signs in there. Investment. Put them dollar signs in there. Go ahead, girl. Put them dollar signs in there.
Right. I explained to my clients that I'm a tax write-off.
Yeah.
When you are getting your branding, your website, your social media management, I'm a tax write-off. I'm helping you when it comes to establishing your brand, building your clientele, and getting ready, boots on the ground with your business. Yes. And I think that one benefit, hopefully, that everybody realized with this pandemic is that it's important to know your brand, because I mean, man, when we were scrolling through our Instagram during the pandemic, I feel like I saw every boutique in the world
with the same really ass 5 outfits. Whoo, child. I said, so do we all look alike? Is it like us, or like it was so aggravating? And they talking about it's a deal. It's a deal on their page too. But go ahead. Don't even get me started.
So with that, there was like nothing that made it stand out. You're using the same stock photos. Everything was
cutting people's head off.
Yeah,
like, we didn't see the same picture, okay? She got the same
everything was like something boutique, something shop, and it was like, it was like everybody needs to wake up and get a real brand. So if that boutique, if those clothes is your brand, what is getting me to hit the follow button?
All y'all bought the same vendor list. That's what that meant, okay? Whoever was selling the vendor list.
Because you know the vendor lists.
Like whoever the vendor list that y'all purchased, you all purchased it, okay? And that's why all your stuff look alike. Okay. You all picked exactly the same thing.
So I mean, that's my ideal client, somebody that knows exactly what they want to do, knows what direction they want to go. A lot of my clients that I have right now are nonprofit organizations.
Okay.
I do have businesses. I have a couple of clients that are, that do lashes, that actually sell lash strips. And those clients are great. They're great to have. But when you're ready to actually build a clientele, it's the clienteles that know where they want to go with their business, so that they can keep coming back to you. So if I have a clientele that is dedicated and adamant to their boutique, and they're, they have an inventory and they have a brand, and they know that their clientele is plus size women, then when they have their specials and promotions, they're going to reach out to Crystal. When it's Black Friday, they're going to reach out to me. When it's tax time, exactly, they're going to reach out to me. And not only because I was able to cultivate that relationship with their brand, but I also believe in their brand. And that always shows in graphic design. Like I can show you my clients, and as you are committed to your brand, I am just as committed making sure that you have quality graphics that imitate what you're trying to put out there in the community. One client that I have that is absolutely amazing is Sade Hollins, who's in our group. And she's an amazing public speaker and presenter. She's well engaged in the community as well. She does grant writing, and she's like one of the very few in the very beginning that was like, okay, if you said you could do it, I want to see you do it. And she put all her faith in me. But
Miss Sade, I'll be in touch, because we definitely need a chat about that grant writing in this group. So I'll be in touch.
And she is amazing. I mean, till like this very second, she secured over $1 million in grant money just through grant writing. So she is amazing. I love her. But her branding is consistent, and that's because she trusts me with her branding. And those are the type of clients also that, when clients come to me, or like Lena, if you were to come to me, the first question I'm going to say is, do you trust me? Because if you don't trust me, you're going to be that client that's going to be like, so are you done? Can I see the logo yet? How long you got?
Honey, and let me tell you, Lena does not want to be that. If I hand it to somebody, I don't want to see it till it's, hell, I won't see it when it's done. Let me scroll it up on Facebook and be like, child, is that me? That's the person I am. If I hand it to you, it is yours. Okay? It's all yours. I will not bother you, okay?
You're the ideal client to have. Because if you don't trust your designer or whoever's representing your brand, then that means there may be some changes that you need to do internally with your brand.
And that's true. And that's good that you said. I had a person when I first started that I thought I could trust with my brand. And if you see my brand, it's the R. It's the R. It's my inner Young and the Restless R, because I was a big fan. Everybody watched it with their grandmama like I did. And when I told him that I wanted this R, the way my brain works is scribbly. Everything in my life is scribbly and crooked. It's not straight. It's not, it's not even. It's all off. And when he presented, again, I handed it to him and I let it go. It was out of my brain. I went out of town, did my vending stuff. I was gone. I came back and he said, I have your logo. I have your tagline. I have all this stuff. You're my kid. He had my kid. Had me come up to the kid. And what I saw was the ugliest. And I don't know if most of y'all have seen this. Hold on. Is it you see that R? That is my R. What he showed me was not that R. Okay. He showed me a housewife R. A well-rounded first grade across the top of the blackboard R. And I looked at him,
on a prairie R.
I said, do you see my R? And this is where the disclaimer comes in if any of you didn't put it in there. I said, did you see my R? My R is a slut. Okay, she will steal your man. Okay, my R is sexy. She is daring. She is all these things. She is all that. That R you showed me is a goddamn housewife. I don't want that. That ain't appealing to me. And he didn't get it when I called my R a slut. Like, my R is going to bring attention to the room. That R is somebody's wife. I don't want that. That's not the R I'm going for. And he didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't vet me. He didn't ask me. He didn't, looking back and now with the things you said, he didn't do any of that. So therefore, you didn't understand how Lena's little wacky brain works and why that R was ugly in the R that I had, And then he put this really scary lady on because I told her I represent a brand, not necessarily a Black brand. I service skin. And the person that he put there was the most intimidating woman I think I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, it scared me. It was my damn website. Okay, every time I click, I'm like, oh, I had to take that woman off. And then he changed my tagline, which was originally Challenge the Beauty Rebel in You, where he changed it to something, your skin in your own terms, which I'm pretty sure I Googled and it was out there. So you didn't do any of the things to know my brand, to know that none of these things pertain to me. You know what I'm saying? So when you say that, and it resonates because like I tell people the branding versus the logo, the brand, I want my art to be like the little Starbucks head. When you see it, you ain't got right Starbucks. That's it. So I want, when you see my bag and you see that little sexy trampy ass R, that's rebellious beauty because it's rebellious. And I said, and that was your clue, rebellious, which means it's not proper, it's not prim, it's not correct, it's not right. It is off, it's big, it is slutty, it's garbage. Like it is the worst. It is like, oh my God, look at that walking in here. It is attention. You know what I'm saying? It's Kanye West. That's what I wanted. And he was like, he didn't get it at all. He said, well, I thought you wanted me to take your brand to the next level. Honey, you need to figure out if your brand is going to the next level while you're trying to get me there. Okay. So what you saying, you have to know the person's heart and love and story behind that brand. Why did they do it? How did they do it? How did they come up with this? How all these things? If you've been in my group, you know how I came over Rebellious Beauty. I went to Giant Adams. We're rebels for life. That's who I am. Period. And I don't even say period. Period. That's who I am. That's what you're supposed to do. Not none of that stuff. She is what you're supposed to do. So I hope y'all taking notes. I'm sorry. I had to tell that story because when you said that, it instantly came to my mind about you telling people the logo versus the brand. And that is what that means. Okay. Make sure you are getting the right people to market your brand. And if Walmart told me that, or told her that she can do it, then damn it, she is. Yeah. Get your little coins together so you can get Miss Crystal to do your work. Because you ain't got no money, she ain't doing damn work. Okay. Because yesterday's price is not today or tomorrow's goddamn price. Okay. Period. Right. Okay. I marketed you, girl. You got it. Okay. So I am so very, very glad that you said that. And I think you kind of led it to our next question, which is who's somebody in this industry? Because like you said, none of us created none of what we're doing. So who's in this industry that you look up to?
Oh man, so there is a French graphic designer, and she's her name's Rita. She's very known for abstract, and she's the one that introduced abstract into graphic designing. Okay. So man, a great example is with the patterns and playing with colors that people would never think go together. And she's done like a few like Adobe inspirations, but I think that's really what grabbed me, was just playing with those color palettes that no one would ever think of. And then I know we talked about it a little bit before we actually started recording, where people come to you with like the craziest colors, and I've learned to kind of say, if this is what the client wants, I'm going to present you with a concept with these colors and allow you to tell me that it looks horrible, even though as I'm designing, I'm just like, oh my God.
Right. Like if that's what they want, I'm gonna make it work, make it cute.
Yeah. So, but one thing is another thing that I was able to take away from is when I first did the Black Friday catalog, I was like so proud. I paid my little $3 for the plain dealer so I could get it. But then what I noticed was like, nobody knew that I did that.
Right.
My name isn't on anything. And that was something that I learned, that I had to learn with myself to take it in. As graphic designers, I may do an outstanding logo for you and you are using it, you're branding it, you're getting printed on stickers and boxes, you're getting retractable banners, but nobody knows that Crystal did it. And that was something that I had to learn to be okay with. Something that it's like, man, I did a bomb ass logo. It's, it's on the street. It's a postcard mailer. It's mailed to millions of houses. So that is something that I had to learn and be proud of. And that's what I would tell like the next person coming after me or any graphic designer. Like some, stylists get shout outs by celebrities on social media, whether it's hairstylists or clothing stylists, but graphic designers don't. And that's okay.
And wholesalers, we do not, okay?
Right, and wholesalers don't either, selling the same vendors list and boutique clothes. And you just have to be okay with that. And I think that goes for any business. Once you are content in your brand and you are happy with your brand and that revenue is coming home to you, everything else should just be, a bonus. When you're able to say that my brand is, on Walmart shelves or Target shelves or on Amazon cart, then, that's a bonus, but still be happy and proud in your brand.
Absolutely. I wholesale. I've created a lot of skincare lines that I don't get credit for. There's so many people. Everybody knows Rebellious Beauty, but what people don't realize is there's a lot of Rebellious Beauty that doesn't have Rebellious Beauty's tag on it. I create a lot of skincare lines for people. Lovely Mimi being one of them. She actually wholesales our body scrubs and uses them quite frequently. Nobody knows that. Black Tony, he doesn't wholesale, he actually just buys it. But there's so many people that wholesale my product, and my label, my logo, nothing that says Lena is there.
Right. And
that's fine. That's okay. I've had people, I've gone places and they say, oh, this smells familiar. And I'm like, probably because I got people who wholesale in the city. So like you said, right. you got to grab it, look at it and go, I did that. And then you just got to move on, because unless your name is plastered on it, people don't believe you no way.
Yeah.
So you just got to, like you said, you just got to know you produced it. You're the producer of this show.
Yes, exactly. And I've had people come to me and they're like, oh, I want something like this. And I'll just laugh because I'm like, I made that.
I did that. Okay. I did that. And Miss Sade, she in here shouting you out to the mountaintop. She said, and this is why great graphic costs, as they should. The work Crystal does literally stays with you and those you serve forever. It's so worth the investment because you get the money back tenfold. And that is true. If you got any great marketer, you have to spend money to make money within your business. And anything that's good is going to come back to you. Period. We can't go out here not thinking we can spend a couple dollars on our business to get it back. I'm the vending queen. I spend a lot of money vending, and doing these events and things like that, but I get the money back 10, like she said, 10 times fold. So you got to spend money to make money. Things like this, marketing, digital creation, content creation, virtual assistants, things like that, virtual account holder, or social media managers and things like that. That stuff is not far-fetched if you're really trying to take your business to the next level. You think people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk just was like, oh no, I'm gonna throw this Tesla up here and see what happened. No, there's a team of creators and marketers and things like that that are working on that stuff 24 hours a day. And when they present it to him, or he like me scrolling through Facebook and see it, like, oh, I did that. He did nothing. But he hired the people to do a job and they did the job wonderfully. So like Miss Sade said, invest. And me personally, Crystal may have my stuff, okay? It's time for a change. Hell, I've been rocking what I'm rocking for 8 years and it's worked. Don't get me wrong, but change is always good. And now that I'm at home, I got downtime to think about all this good stuff. So what is the motivation that keeps Crystal going? What make Crystal get up and say, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it.
I got a 16-year-old that's getting ready to drive, and I know my car insurance about to go up.
Isn't that all of our motivation right there? These kids, child, there's all deep up in our pockets.
Yeah, but you know what? Because there are not that many of me out there.
No, I gotta say,
that keeps me going. Like growing up, I don't know, growing up, I was like in the Clark Fulton community, but I went to school on the east side because my mom thought just getting in a different community, I'd be a little bit different. But there wasn't enough people like me that I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to be. So I think that's what really keeps me going. So whether it's just volunteering in a community or being able to share my skill set with others, that's what really keeps me going.
And that was the opposite. I lived on the east side and went to school on the west side until I went to high school. And then I finally, not that it was like 4 schools up the street from me, let's go on the west side. So I went to Harper, I went to Memphis, I went to Mooney, like stayed on the west side, until I went to Adams, and then I was back on the east side. So yeah. And I always thought that was goofy. Like, we got all these schools down the street, y'all busing us halfway across the world, but who am I? I'm glad they kind of stopped it.
The way our parents think.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, there were at least 2 junior high schools literally up the street from me, and I had to go all the way to the west side to go to junior high school. Like, it's ridiculous. My husband and I, and half the people I know, even my friends today, we still all got bused over to the west side. So we were the opposite. But like you said, with you being, Afro-Latina, it's not a lot of women, with that background that is doing stuff like this. It's not, I gotta say, I don't see, and I've been on this journey for a really long time, I don't see a lot of Afro-Latina women, period, in business, unless it's cooking. And it's like, I know you got more than that in you, sis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So for you to be in this, this minority in this digital world, especially with us moving into things like Meta and things like that, I hope you do inspire more young Afro-Latina girls to get into this. You know what I'm saying? I wish that for you, because we need that. And not even just for the Afro-Latina girls, but just young girls, period. We just need to inspire our little girls to do whatever it is they want to do. It's not far-fetched. It's not something you can accomplish. It's not, it's not for women, because I hear a lot of that crap too. Like, oh no, that's not for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do and be successful at it. And there's so many groups, and you probably can attest, when you started, like when I started back when, there was none of this. There were no podcasts. There were no groups. There were no mentors. There weren't even no Instagram famous people. There was nothing or no one you could reach out to and say, can you help me? Can you give me guidance? Can you tell me? Can you help me build? There was none of that. When I started Rebellious Beauty, there was nothing, nobody, which is why I give so much back, because no one gave to me, and not that I think people wouldn't. There was nobody to reach out to. When I started this business, and not even just Rebellious Beauty, my other business, Instagram was just getting big. Instagram was just becoming a thing. You know what I'm saying? We were coming out of MySpace, and nobody was doing business on MySpace. We was trying to do music and picture carousels. You know what I'm saying? We was trying to take pictures of the phones had just got cameras. You know what I'm saying? My first camera phone I had to hook it in. So I'll tell you, did I show my age? So to have these platforms and these women that are willing to reach out and give advice and get together and have a Zoom and have a class and have a talk and take advantage of it. Everybody's not on a high horse. I'm not. She's clearly not. It's 600 people in this group that ain't, which is why I created this business in real life. Everybody know here. You hear my dog barking. My kids is bad. I got lots of kids. I got a grandson. I'm on the road a lot. I'm tired. I look like Beetlejuice half the time when I found some hair to put on for this interview. If I turn to the back, it probably look crazy. That is business in real life, okay? Everybody goes through it. You can't avoid it. It is what it is. So I don't never like, ooh, I got the Gucci on. I got the Louis on. I got all that. It's in that damn closet. It's not important right now. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's marketed in my business. That's not what I want to market to you. So please take advantage of these opportunities and this advice, from all the women that I've interviewed, because they are dropping great information on you and resources, which is going to lead to my next question. Resources. So what are some resources that you use to help you get to be the high crown?
Yeah, so the first thing I would tell people is, I know the role index is so old school, but collect business cards, network. Because, you know, Lena may not be my client today, but Lena may know somebody that is going to purchase a vendor's list from her that's ready to start a business. And she can say, hey, I know a graphic designer. Everywhere I go, I mean, I'm talking to people in the Giant Eagle line, at the gas station, when I'm picking up my daughter and my son.
Walking brand. Walking brand.
Yes, please do not be afraid to talk about your brand and your accomplishments, because how else is anyone going to know that you're booming, that you're out there?
How do you know who you are? Don't be how many people walk up to you and just start talking? Jehovah's Witnesses don't give up.
Right.
You gonna believe in they God. Okay. I mean, seriously though, tell them like you have to eat, sleep, and shit this. Like no BS. Yes. You have to mark. I love that Candace said that. Everything about a phone case, computer, the whole shebang with all her stuff, your stuff, you know. Yep. I usually have, you can't see my camera, but it's got Rebellious Beauty all up over there. Like, how you want me to believe in your brand and you ain't even pushing it like it's the best thing since sliced bread? Right. Because right now, the way Crystal talking, she the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, she got me. Like, I'm sold. Okay, so then, besides just the marketing, the guerrilla marketing, that's what I call it, the guerrilla marketing. When you put yourself out there, that's guerrilla marketing. But what else have you used? Have you used anything technical wise? Because I mean, you just
So one thing is I'm on Ruthie's list. So and
I hope y'all signed up. Go ahead.
Yes, please make sure you sign up for Ruthie's list. I'm on there. I always look for new groups, new directories to be a part of. Please don't think that because something is new or you haven't heard of it before that it's no use to you. I'm on Thumbtack, which is where some freelancers go when, you know, people are looking for businesses. I'm on there. I make sure that I sign myself up for anything and everything. On Facebook, on Facebook Marketplace, I put myself for sale as a logo or graphic designer. So, you know, when people are on Marketplace looking for used TVs or computers or laptops, you keep scrolling and it's going to say graphic logo design. I mean, please step out the box with your brand.
Hashtag associate your brand with stuff. Did I say I love Crystal? Did I say it yet? Did I say it? Do I need to say it again? She's saying all the stuff that makes me tingle. All the stuff I'm pretty sure I yell at y'all about. Okay, like
I mean, Facebook Marketplace, put yourself on Craigslist. You can do Craigslist, you can do OfferUp, because technically you are selling something. You please use every avenue, because then when people are not necessarily maybe searching in the app, but if they're Google searching, graphic design, logo designer, Cleveland, Ohio, Strongsville, Ohio, I'm going to come up in the searches, whether it's OfferUp, Craigslist, Marketplace, Facebook, or my actual website. But I'm
working on SEOs, okay?
Yes, everywhere.
So I have a comment / kind of solicitation. Miss Diana McCoy says she's a massage therapist with a semi-new business looking to revamp. Miss Diana, please, please, please reach out. And I'm going to put the information in here so you're able to reach out to Miss Crystal for her services. So if you have any more questions, we're almost to the end. So I want you all to put your questions in the chat. So if you had and I ask everybody this, if you had an unlimited budget, like you just ball out, what would you spend it on? And it's crazy because most people will say marketing, but because you do marketing, would it be marketing?
Nope. If I had an unlimited budget, I would use it to support maybe one of my clients. Okay. Like I said, you have to find a graphic designer that's equally invested in your dream. When people fill out the vetting form and they're like, well, I want to sell jewelry bands and I want the logo to be hot pink and purple and I want it to be a picture of my face. Like, how does a picture of your face have anything to do with the jewelry bands? Okay. You know, like what? So I ask myself questions like that, and it's like, I'm not the designer for you. But if I have a designer, let's say, for example, like you, that's, you know, very committed in their skincare line, their scrubs, they've already established themselves by saying, well, you know, I have clients that order for me routinely. Then it's like, okay, hey, you know what? I've offered these graphic design services. We've done your logo, but let's take it a step further. I have a credit of X. Let's purchase you, you know, really nice labels. or,
Gotcha.
let's find somewhere where you can cross market with someone.
Right. So, collab is always good.
Exactly. So I think that's what I would do if I had a budget. I would probably run a really nice campaign for one of my clients.
Okay. If I had a budget, I'd take us all to Punta Cana or something, but I'm all on the wrong thing. So, Miss Crystal, how can our listeners connect with you online, in person, social media? Like, how can we connect?
Yeah, so I am on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, High Crown Marketing Group. My website is highcrownmarketing.com, but I temporarily took it down because I want to offer you guys a freebie.
Okay.
So before I put that on there. And then, pretty much the social media platforms, I'm on there. I'm trying to be a little bit more committed to posting, but I have 18 social media clients that I'm currently managing. So of course they're priority.
Absolutely.
But that's where you can find me for sure. So I'll wait for the little freebie offer, but if there's any other questions.
So what is your final word? What is your final tidbit of advice, wisdom? What is your final word for the group, for the ladies that's here in the chat?
Oh man, so whatever your business is, when you are marketing and branding, be intentional.
Yes.
Be intentional, please. I can't tell you how many clients I have that want to do Instagram reels or TikToks. And it's, it's like, well, be intentional. Don't jump on it because it's a fad. Right now, Instagram wants to be TikTok, but your brand, your ideal brand or your ideal customer is not on TikTok.
Exactly.
So creating an Instagram reel may not be ideal for your brand.
Right.
Right now the algorithm may catch videos, but what's next month the algorithm may catch something else.
Yeah, and it's ever so changing daily.
So be intentional with your brand.
Absolutely. I tell the group, social media goes down, or at some point, because it's coming, especially with Meta, they decide to make you pay for it. What you gonna do? Build these email lists. Instagram went down the other day. I don't think people really realized it wasn't long, but it did. I can email my customers and still get everything that I need. Some people are relying 100% on social media. Like you said, you're not doing that, and you still got 18 clients that you're servicing. Likes doesn't mean success. So it has to be more than one avenue of marketing, promotions, and things like that. And get out here. If all else fails, get your ass out here and market yourself. Market yourself. If there's these network events going, and I tell people that all the time, even if you're not a vendor, you're not participating, if you're not there with your cards, with your brochures, with your whatever, just handing them out to the random crowd, then you're crazy. You're crazy.
When pop-ups were really popular,
yeah,
I was going to every pop-up with my business card, and I was going to when the pop-up was up and going, and I would give each vendor my card, and I would say, hey, I didn't know you were going to be at this pop-up.
Yeah.
So for your next pop-up, reach out to me and let me make you a flyer.
Exactly. I've traveled to Columbus and Cincinnati, and before I decided if I'm going to be a vendor at the show, I've went and checked it out. But while I was there, I handed out a bunch of marketing materials. I was just at Times Square. It's a gazillion people in Times Square for no apparent reason. You think they all ain't got a catalog? Absolutely. Okay. Nice. The one woman strong-armed me about her little bracelet. Okay. That's you think she cared I said no? It's probably been 100,000 people that have said no today. Okay. But she's still up there strong-arming people about these little bracelets. Okay. So you have to be intentional. So yes. I have a question in the group from, is it Sweet Miss Sherry Bay? So we'll say Miss Sherry. It said, what's a good budget price for a graphic designer package for business startup? So we're talking about someone that's on limited budgeting maybe and have just started. And if it's not you, be like, sis, it ain't me, but let me tell you. So what's a good, I guess, point price for a startup?
So it depends what your brand is. I do offer what I call a minipreneur packet, and it's $299. And it includes a logo, 250 business cards, and a website landing page. So a landing page, I'm sure some people are familiar, but a landing page is just a one-page website. It's who you are, what you do, and how they can get in contact with you.
I've told y'all that.
I always tell my clients the cheapest employee you can have is a website.
Yeah, a landing, and it doesn't have to be the click, 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 and lots of tabs. Like mine is very extensive because I got a lot of things going on. I had sales reps and all that good stuff. So mine was very extensive. Everybody don't need that. You don't need tabs. You just need one landing page with your logo, you kind of your mission statement. You can put a product and hook a PayPal link to the one page. Like it doesn't have to be an extensive website. And with things like Wix and stuff like that, some of this stuff is free and you can do a link tree so they don't have to see the ugly Wix sign on it. Like it's so many things out here that people just aren't taking advantage of. So I think, again, like you said, those things, those little things, websites are very important. Just a landing page. Just here's how, this is my information. This is what I do. These may be the prices, and this is how to get in contact with me. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when social media is down. I have a lot of clients that heavily rely on Facebook or Instagram to be their shop. And it's like, what are you going to do when it crashes?
That's what I say. I think they're going to make you pay. You think they can run Meta for free? You crazy.
Right.
They're going to, at some point, you're going to have to pay for social media. And how many of you are willing to do that? Because if you're not even willing to pay her to market your business, you're not about to pay Facebook to just be on it. I said what I said. I'm just saying. Because there's so many people that don't look at the big picture of things are going to change and things are changing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to plan accordingly. And if you don't think that your business, whatever, if she's saying that package is $299 and you don't think that once you give her the $299, if you don't think your business can get $299 back, then it's a whole lot of reevaluation that needs to go into your business. Because whatever you put out for marketing or whatever the case may be, you need to have faith that the business is going to get all of that money back. And that's the problem. People want all this jazzy stuff, but business can't recoup the money back. If I can go to vending events and spend $35K on vending fees, I'm going to get $35K back, or I'm sorry, $3,500. I spend at least $3,500 on vending events. I get $3,500 back plus lots and lots of more, $3,500. But I have faith if that show in Baltimore is $500 a space, a table, I could pay $500 and probably come back with triple that or quadruple that or 10 times that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have faith in your business. Be intentional. Have faith. Because if you don't have faith, why the hell should I have faith? Why should she have faith? And why should we buy your stuff? Nobody should have more faith in your biz than you. Like I said, I sell shea butter. My biggest seller is the shea butter. But when I sell the shea butter, I make it as if the shit can make you fly. That's faith. Okay? This one got me thinking I'm gonna be on Walmart. I'm like, hell shit, I'm about to be on Walmart. I know her. That is marketing, people. You have to stay intentional. That's a great ending to that, okay? Be intentional in your business. Be intentional in your business. Do we have any other questions? This is the time. You got 5 minutes. This is the questions. Yes, people are not ready to hear that. And it is. It's a whole nother conversation, okay? Because I yell about it. I don't know how much, okay? People complain and tell me, oh, I spent $65 on the vending table. Your business can't get $65 back?
Right.
Really? Some of y'all blow $65 on much more dumb stuff. Just saying. So be intentional with your business. Questions. Miss Crystal, you have been personally one after my heart. It is pitter pattering. I am so in love with you because you said all the right things. Okay. People need. I really hope you all took notes. I really hope you all go back and watch this episode again, and again, and listen to all of these things that she said, because when I tell you they are 112% true, they are. If you're not on Ruthie's list, get your ass on there because you should be networking and marketing. If you're not advertising in this group, Your ass should be advertising. I don't know how many times I got to say that. And don't hit me with what's the advertised rules. Ain't none. Don't be ignorant. You grown. I'm not babysitting grown women. You know how to present yourself in a classy way, okay? Or at least semi-classy, because sometimes I get all out of pocket too, okay? It's too many avenues out here for us to be successful. We are scared of success because you know what success comes with? Work. And y'all don't want to do the damn work. And that's ultimately what that is, okay? Don't be scared of success. Work. Do the work. Okay. And then you get to chill out later once the work is done. Okay. Candace said high crowd marketing is the truth. And I'm with you. And I ain't even had to experience it yet, Candace. And I believe you because she sold me. Okay. When I really get off into this rebranding, because it's coming. Okay. Because Rebellious Beauty is time for a rebrand. I rebranded a couple times, but it's time for another one. Guess who's going to be doing it? Because I ain't got no problem with handing no money to nobody, especially if I know they're going to do right by it. Okay. I have no issues with that. So any more questions, ladies? I know I've held you up, but this right here, this was one for the books. This right here, if this was a season ender, honey, this was it. Okay. I hope you go back. I hope you really watch this. The YouTube pages in the group I posted again. This interview will stay up until forever. I don't care if Facebook, I will sue Facebook for the rights to this damn podcast. Okay. If they try to close it on me. Okay. Forever. Okay, so go back and watch it and ask more questions and tag her, please, so she can answer your questions. She's going to make a wonderful post with her services and her freebie in the group. So turn on your notifications if you don't have the notifications, because you guys are missing so much good information when people post. I see so many vending events and grants and all types of money being handed out that people literally put in the group, and we're missing it because the algorithms are fighting us, and therefore we have to turn on notifications. And yes, you can post it at 3. I won't get the notification for half the stuff till 5:30. I don't know why that's happening. But again, at least you'll get the notification. So please turn your notifications on so you can get this good information. Like, seriously, this was a great episode. Not saying my other episodes weren't great, but this one was one after my business heart, okay? Because y'all know that's what I do, okay? So if we don't have any more questions, I thank all of the new ladies that came in and joined our group. Please welcome, please introduce yourself formally, make a separate post, introduce yourself to the group and what you do, because our sisters need you. Ms. Crystal, if you can make a post with the freebie and the your services so these sisters can get with you. Miss Sade, I would be in touch because, honey, this grant writing thing is real and we need it because there's so much money being tossed around and people don't know how to get it. They don't know how to put their hand up and get it because they're scared to talk right, type the stuff. They're just scared to do all of it, okay? So thank you, Miss Crystal, for being on the show and dropping these jewels and these gems that you did, honey. You don't know what you did for me, myself, and I hope you ladies got the same tingle I got. This episode, again, of the Black Girl Business Hour was sponsored by Rebellious Beauty LLC. That is me. Organic and vegan skincare based right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Please come get your skin serviced at rebelliousbeautyllc.com. Yes, this is technically, I think we got 2 more people, but we are rescheduling them. But we are going to be releasing more dates very, very soon because I want to hear from all of you, you know, and what you do, because how do we know how to help the sisters if we don't know the sisters is in the group? Always, if you know some sisters that might be beneficial to this group, please invite them to the group. We welcome them with open arms. We teach everything from stocks to business credit to Canva to marketing to all types of things. We have some talented people in this group and I want to make them visible for you to reach out to. We've already now had authors and networking, we have marketing, we just obtained a grant writer. We got all types of people in this group. Let's help each other. Let's help each other. It doesn't work. The team does not work, okay? Unless there's a team to work. Period. Okay, so let's get it together and help each other. Again, this has been the Black Girl Business Hour. I am your host, Elle Will, also known as Lena Wilson, the owner of Rebellious Beauty, and we will see you next time on the Black Girl Business Hour. Miss Crystal, thank you so much, and I will see you ladies in the group. Have a good night.